Hi, thanks for joining us. Kate Petty with Keller Williams Irvine. I'm joined with Benny from New American Funding. And today we're going to take a look at when you're thinking about getting a loan for a home, there are some things you should start doing early, right, Benny? So let's talk about what are the things that we need to start thinking about way before we start thinking about.
Yeah, I love that. One of the biggest aspects of getting approved for a mortgage is your credit, right? Credit is always so important to us. There's so many things that go into what your score is and what it should look like. But think about it from a lender's perspective, right? They're going to be lending you potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a house.
Yeah.
So how do they know that you're a good candidate for that? They look at your credit. That's a big part of that. Do you have credit history? Have you made your payments on time? What does your credit, picture look like? And so here are just a couple things that I think you should, be aware of when you're going into this. And one is obviously credit history. What a lot of people do is, or the goal is to not have a lot of debt, right? So in this case, it kind of goes the opposite way. We want to see that you have had some debt and that you've made your payments on time. So one of those things is you typically want to keep the balances of your credit cards between 30 and 50% of whatever the max is, right? So if you have a $2,000 max on your card, in most cases, you don't want your balance to go above $1,000 and stay there. If you use the card and then pay it off, that's fine. Another big one that a lot of people don't know is when you have a credit card, you have a big balance. Over time, you slowly pay that thing off, and you're so happy you paid it off. What most people do is they love to call the credit company and let them know it's paid off, and they want them to close that account so they don't have to have access to it anymore. That actually hurts your credit. And the reason for that is you have all of those years of making those payments on time. When you call them and close the credit card, it eliminates all of that history. And that history is what gives you your score and what makes your score go up. So you never want to close a credit card. Another really good thing to do to get credit quickly is you can co-sign on a parent's credit card. It's called being an authorized user. So they would give you an authorized user account to their credit card. You don't even need to have the card. But what happens is they've had that card for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. With all these years of making payments on time, they can add you as an authorized user, and immediately you get all of those years of great credit history onto your credit. So this would be someone that doesn't have a big credit history. That's a trick to get it, immediate credit, which could get your score higher.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So 3 simple tips to give us some information on what you can do to get your credit ready in order to get that smooth pre-approval process.
I love it. Yes.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Benny.
All right, thanks.